happy Wax on Wednesdays. Today I'm going to do a couple of small boards, and I've been having a lot of fun with pours lately. If you've been following along on the channel here or on Instagram, both the acrylic fluid painting and also with encaustic. So I've kind of been going back and forth. There's great aspects and properties to both. So I've kind of just been going back and forth lately and seeing what can be done and exploring the pouring methods in both mediums. And there's pluses and minuses to both. They're quite different, encaustic versus an encaustic pour versus an acrylic pour, as to what can be done or how you go about doing it. But they're both processes are a lot of fun to watch happen and watch what's going to unfold. So this week I'm going to approach it in a slightly different way and see how the wax can be manipulated, how the colors can be brought out, and just explore what can be done with it. And both processes, both with the fluid painting acrylic pour and also with the encaustic pour, are incredibly messy. So I have gloves on, and for the encaustic pour I'm just doing a small little 6x6 here. So I have, this is just the lid to one of my Tupperware Rubbermaid totes. And the great thing about the encaustic is that once the wax is dry, it'll just pop and peel right off when I flex this lid, and I won't have to worry really about mess and cleanup. So Rubbermaid lid will be the catch-all for the encaustic, and also I've taped the sides here of the board, and I can also put in little push pins here on the back if I want to set the board up a little bit so the wax doesn't get underneath, or I can go ahead and tape the back, which is probably what I'll end up doing since this is a wood board. And my predominant color here today is going to be the white encaustic paint. And I also have a metal container here on my hot plate for some other colors to do the pour with. I also have some little glass dishes that I just get at the dollar store in a package of 4. They're 4 for $1. You can use tuna cans, cat food cans, dog food cans. You don't have to go out and buy dishes for sure to melt your wax in. It doesn't have to be a costly thing. These just happen to be a really good size for little individual colors. I'm going to be melting some of my encaustic paint down. This is encaustic paint that I make here in the studio. It's really concentrated, so I'll probably mix a little bit of clear encaustic medium with it and tone it down just a bit. And I'm just gonna mix some of these colors into the glass dishes and melt them down for the pour. Okay, so I've melted several of the encaustic paint sticks here in the bowl, and I have added some plain encaustic medium pellets to them. And of course, the more medium that you add, the more translucent the colors will become. And just a little bit, because they are so concentrated, don't really need to use them straight for the pour. And I'm going to make the base of this painting white. So I'm just going to put a couple of layers of white encaustic paint down to begin with, and of course I'm going to fuse in between each layer, and just maybe 2 thin layers. And of course you can use the torch or the heat gun to fuse. I'm going to do a couple of these boards to see. I usually work on multiple pieces at one time, especially on these small little pieces. And excited, tomorrow is the opening of Wax on Wednesdays project group. If you haven't signed up yet, it's a yearly annual subscription of $24.99 until June 30th. And it's a Facebook group. And it's going to be on Facebook, subscription only. It's a private group where you can share your project of encaustic projects for Wax on Wednesdays with everyone in the group, and you'll get one extra video every single month that's only for the group. It won't be here on YouTube. And also you can have all your questions. There will be Q&As to answer all your questions for every Wax on Wednesday. All the Wax on Wednesday videos each week will be on there starting tomorrow, plus the extra video, and there'll be opportunities for Q&As where I'll go on and answer all of your questions, and also giveaways with the special supplies that I use each month on Wax on Wednesdays. I'm going to be giving away some of those supplies. It's just a really fun group. And a really fun way to get really more involved in the Wax on Wednesday community. So I hope you will join us. I am so excited that it opens tomorrow. And that is June 7th, 2017. And you can join anytime, but the $24.99 price is good just until June 30th. So if you want to take advantage of that price, it's good until June 30th. And also right now until the 15th of this month, June 15th, if you buy any of the 15 online workshops that I have, many of them are encaustic, and if you get any one of those workshops, then you can get the Wax on Wednesday project group for free. So if you get the brand new workshop is Encausticology 101. That one comes out in September, and the early bird registration is on sale right now on my website. If you get that one, or Encausticology Image Exploration, Encausticology Collage, or Encausticology Paper Journey, you can get any of those workshops and get the Wax on Wednesday project group for free for that with them. So it's a great deal. It's a summer sale, and that one is on sale only until June 15th. Let that one solidify. I have the colors here, and then my main pouring cup that I'm going to use to pour everything into. I'm probably going to use a clamp for that because the bowl is a little bit warm. And a couple of you have already asked if you are wanting to sign up for Encausticology 101 online workshop. Yes, the workshops, you have them forever once they begin. You have forever access to them. And also it will include an intensive section on shellac burn. So a lot of you have asked, yes, it does have a whole entire section devoted just to the shellac burn. So, and if you have any other questions, of course, you can email me at any time. The first pour I'm going to do is what's called a dirty pour. And I'm just going to see how it comes out. Dirty pour just simply means that you're pouring all of the colors into one container before you go ahead and put it on your board or canvas. And so that's what I'm going to do with the wax here. And of course I don't know what's going to happen, so we're just going to find out. I'm going to put a clamp there so I can pick it up to pour when I'm done. And I'm going to pour in just a little bit of the white. Now, of course, this isn't all the paint because I already have a good couple of base coats here on the piece. And you may want to put a clamp on all of these. So you can use these clamps and pick up your bowls that are a little bit warm and switch them out and so forth. And that has some really yummy stuff going on there. Just a little bit more white. And it's mixing a little bit, but I'm not stirring it around or anything like that. It's just kind of going on its own. Put just a little bit more of the dark blue. And I have a feeling we're probably going to make green with so much yellow and blue. And I'm going to go ahead and pour that. It's just a little bit of, it's just another layer of color. We of course can build up as many layers on the encaustic pieces as we want, which is one difference from the acrylic or the fluid painting pour. Where it does differ a little bit from the encaustic pour is that you can pull subsequent layers up from your base by just simply heating your piece again. And I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to go ahead and pour this. I don't see if you can see the best here. This is going to be mostly blues and a green. But it's really pretty. I'm going to stop there. And this, of course, is going to dry quicker than an acrylic pour because it's wax, so it's actually not going to dry, it's going to solidify. And I'm not going to worry, I really don't want to waste a bunch of this wax, so I'm not going to worry if it doesn't go all the way to the edges. And I'm going to show you why as soon as it solidifies here, just a little bit. I'm going to have to fuse this layer now with the torch, and of course you can use a heat gun as well. But this is going to allow it to spread to the edges, and it's why I don't have to worry at all about that color going to the edge, because it will once I fuse it. What's left over from the other pour, and it's turned completely green. So I'm going to work with that and add some white. I'm going to add orange on that side. And some more blue than I did last time. Add the rest of that dark blue. Just a tiny bit of the light blue. And some more orange. See if we can get a different, little bit different color going. thought that would make it more level, but it didn't help, so we'll try this way. That ended up being pretty dark. We can still take the regular orange and see how that does. Okay, and you also want to be cautious of fusing something on your Tupperware things. Usually I would take this off and put a ceramic tile or a brick underneath that will absorb the heat from either a heat gun or a torch and not fuse something on plastic, of course, or paper. This one, I really am liking the swirls that are going on and the overall color of the piece on this pour. This one, not so much. So on this one, I think I'm going to play around with making the wax move a little bit, and that's where the fun comes in. I've gone ahead and switched out here to my ceramic tile so I can really get in there and move the wax around without worrying about what's underneath my piece that I could possibly catch on fire. So I've gone ahead and switched out to this ceramic tile. And now I can really go in here and play around with moving the wax around. So here are my two encaustic pour pieces, and I think I'm going to call them done for right now. And one of the advantages of the encaustic pour is that you can add more color to it, add more fluid color, and when you fuse it in, it fuses seamlessly with the other layers. And of course you can continue to move that around even days later. You can come back, unlike an acrylic fluid painting pour, you can come back days later and add more layers or more color and move the wax around again and again and again. And there's benefits to both. There's benefits both to the encaustic pour and the acrylic pour, and of course there's a limitless amount of ways that you can do both the encaustic pour and the acrylic fluid painting pour. And that's what makes them so fun and exciting, is every time you approach it just slightly differently, you get a different result in both instances. And so I think I'm going to continue to play with both the encaustic and the acrylic painting pours in the future. And I hope you had a fun Wax on Wednesdays, and if you join me in the project group today, then I will see you in the project group a little later on. And happy Wax on Wednesdays. Bye. See you next week.